Hi and welcome to Gamers Web. Today we're going to take a look at the Warhammer 40,000 9th edition Indomitus box set from Games Workshop, as being opened now by my lovely friend Kay. Say hello, Kay.
Hello.
Right, okay, so as you're probably aware, this is the brand new version of the game that is due for release at the end of this month, beginning of next month. This month being July 2020, and we're lucky enough to be able to get an advance copy from our good friends and sponsors at Sixes to Hit, which is where we are right now, because they don't trust me to take it home, you see, because it might not come back. Okay, so as you can see, this is the box. Well, before we open it, we'll actually have a quick look at the box itself. So we'll spin the box around so you can have a proper look. Right, so you have to forgive the glare because the light's pretty bright here. Okay, so Indomitus box set, got some great artwork on the front featuring Space Marines with assault weapons and Necrons. And then we turn it over, this thing's really heavy. And on the back, we get everything needed to play this beautiful game. And I don't mean football. So we've got two forces. We've got the Necrons, which comprise of all brand new models, and we've got the Primaris Assault Marines, which are all brand new models as well. Altogether, all told, there's 61 models. You also get decals, assembly sheets, a mini campaign sort of thing, and the version of the rules which is unique to this game. And Kay's just going to pop the lid now. You can hear that rattly goodness inside there. I'm trying to hold the camera still. Right, there we go. Okay, right. You heard the clunk then. This is a very beefy boy. Right, so we get as usual with Games Workshop games recently, we've been getting this amazing inlays which act as posters. They're fantastic. Very nice. That was a double-sided one, and I think, no, it doesn't open. Right, you just pop that in the lid. And as you can see from the mound of sprues, we get lots and lots of goodness. So first up, we have the Space Marine Primaris Assault Marines on bikes. These are the all-new bikes, the ones that everybody's talking about on the net because they can't actually drive. The ground coverage is very, very short, so they won't actually drive forward without falling over. Can I have the next sprue, please? Thank you. And my lovely assistant passes me the next sprue, which is some Space Marines with assault swords. Assault chainswords, sorry. And they've also got bolt pistols as well. Great detail as usual. Now, as on a note, these are all push fit. These aren't the glue style miniatures. Okay, so we have our first of our Necron sprues. This is the Necron Destroyer. I think it's called a Camopic Destroyer, I'm not sure. You get a couple of these in the game. They're armed with these really big beefy swords. I'll just zoom in and you can see the detail on that. Complete with Necron glyphs. Yep. And next, anyone at all. Okay, so here we have our two, if I get the right way around, these are our two characters from the game. We have a Space Marine Captain who's got, oh sorry, this isn't a character from the game, this is just a Space Marine. These are Space Marine Lieutenant who's got his sword and an iron halo on the back of his backpack, and then we also have this Necron guy. Now, I'm not sure the name of him, but I'll put it down in the description below. These are the characters. Sorry. So we've got the Space Marine Captain with the shield, with the corpse on the front of the shield, and a scenic base, and then we have this Necron Lord with a massive phase saber type rifle, not rifle, weapon, staff weapon. Again, great sanction detail. These. This one I think has got, yeah, it's got a damaged Necron on the base, We next have more of our Space Marines, which we just looked at, and then we have another sprue of Necron goodness. This is one of the Necron characters. This is the canopic. I'm not sure. It's a repair device. It actually goes around and repairs Necrons. But we're basically just looking at the figures at the moment. Then we have these things here which are being known as the Cans of Doom because they look like buckets. Oops. And sprue of Necron Warriors that comes complete with lots and lots of scarabs. All brand new scarab things, and the Necrons are actually quite unique because there's lots of different heads. There's damaged heads, there's heads with jaws missing. They all look quite rusted and archaic, like they've been in the ground for a long time. That's a sprue of Space Marine assault guys with the Vanguard with the storm shields, and also the Ancient with his very, very impossible to carry what's it called? Standard. And then we've also got a Chaplain with a Rosarius, and there's also I think there's a Techmarine. No, there's no Techmarine on that. Techmarine is a separate one. And then finally we have another sprue of Necrons. Okay, so that's identical to the last sprue. Okay, and then if we can just get this out. Okay, so this is another inlay. And inside, thank you very much. You just want to put that one in the box. Doesn't she do well? Right. Okay, so yeah. So we have our Edge of Silence and our assembly instructions for the game itself. Yeah. Kay's just going to pop that open.
Fingers are from one and
yeah. Right. Okay. So the Edge of Silence basically is the campaign book for the game, and it basically gives you the background. This is not a starter box, this is an introduction to 40k. So we basically got Prey and Nexus, and then Silent Kingdom, because we're about to have the return of the Silent King, which is one of the most powerful creatures in Warhammer 40,000. And then here we have a Necron army. And I don't know if any of that's... Yeah, that's all the stuff we get in the game, more or less. So we got the Destroyers, we got Destroyer Lord, and then this big canopic reanimator, that's called. That's the thing that fixes people. And then Angels of Death, which is the Space Marines, and it gives you more background and fluff. And then we have our datafacts for all the characters and the models, from Necrons to Space Marines in there. Thank you. And then next up we have, if I can get at it, the Indomitus book, which basically just gives you assembly guides in full colour and explorative views for all of the models within the game. Right, we'll save that one till last. Very, very heavy book, as Kay's just rightly mentioned. Underneath here is just the bases, big bag of bases that you're going to need for your models. And I think there's one on the other side as well. Yep, they're the large bases on the other side. I'll taking them out because they're just bases. And then we have our sheet of decals, and a nice bit of artwork at the bottom, which is the cover of the book. And then you can read a copy of a chapter of the Warhammer Indomitus novel by Gav Thorpe by scanning the QR code. And then we have a lovely picture of some Space Marines. Great for mounting and actually using as, you know, putting them in frames and putting them in your games room or in your living room or what have you. So that's a quick look. Now what we're going to do is we're just going to pause for a second, put all this away, and then just come back and look at the actual rules themselves. Hi and welcome back. Sorry about the delay. Right, so here we have the core rulebook for 9th edition. This is the limited edition book that only comes in Indomitus, and as we can see here we have got Abaddon squaring off against, I would imagine that'd be Gulliman. Apart from the fact the sword's not glowing, but he's in ultramarine armour, that's why I thought it might be Gulliman. But it's a really nice piece of artwork. It looks like it's Karl Kopinski. Without looking at the rules, I can't really say. And it goes round to the back. And for the first time ever, this, all it says there is core book. There is no embellishment on the front cover of this tome, which is quite good, and it's over 370 pages, about 382 pages, because there's a lot of artwork at the back and there's a lot of data faxes. Okay, so let's just jump straight in. Right, I'm not going to go through the entire thing, but we're going to go and take a wee look. Okay, so we have our introduction to Indomitus, and then our contents, which the rules terms glossary ends on page 364. And I don't know if it's going to tell us who the cover is, but I think it's Carl Kopinski. It looks very much like Carl's work. So, introduction to the Warhammer hobby, with lots and lots of studio artwork. A lot of these images are old images, you've seen them before, how to build and paint your miniatures, the Warhammer community, which is now massive. This is what the core rulebook will look like when it gets launched to the general public outside of the Indomitus book. Indomitus box. And then quick breakdown of the game with a lovely lady playing against a gentleman, and we do have ladies playing 40k and fancy Warhammer Age of Sigmar and Blood Bowl and lots of things, don't we, Kay?
Yes, we do.
There we go, see? It's not a male dominated hobby anymore, and lots of ladies are getting into it, which is great. Okay, section on Dark Imperium, which is our first gatefold image, which goes out and looks very nice. Then introduction to the warp, and again there's some like Carl Kopinski artwork here which is like phenomenal. Some of this stuff I've never seen before, some of this stuff is absolutely brand new, some of it's been done before. And there we have the Emperor sitting on his golden throne, Angels of Death, Warriors of Faith, obviously our Sisters of Battle, Inquisition, and then we'll go into the Dark Gods and the Saga Imperialis. Okay, Remnants of a Dark Age, Legacy of Strife, and this is just basically your background fluff for the game. And I'm just quickly flicking through because there's a lot to cover. This is the core meat of the Indomitus Crusade, which takes place after Psychic Awakening, which has just finished with Psychic Pariah, I think was the last book that came out, and this is directly after the events of Psychic Awakening. So this is Robert Gulliman leading the Ultramarines and the Loyal Marines on a crusade to reunite the galaxy under the age, or under the aspects of the Imperium. And then here we go, Warriors of the Emperor. So we've got the Sisters of Battle, Adeptus Astartes, Grey Knights, Death Watch, Cerritos, and then Custodes, which are basically massively powered Space Marines. Astra Militarum, or Imperial Guard in old money, Mechanicus, and then different things like the War Zones, Imperial Knights, Imperial Agents like the Assassins, and then lots of new miniatures like this new Bastion that's it's a Hammerfall drop turret that it's quite nice. Looking forward to seeing the actual model itself. Then we've got a throwback to old 40k with a Space Marine sitting on a gun turret which looks like a tarantula, which is going really old school. So this is just basically a quick look at the Imperial section. As you can probably see here, there's a ribbon that goes through the book, so you can keep your place wherever you want to. And then we have a section on the bad guys, so the Forces of Chaos, Vigilus, Chaos Daemons, and then this is just all Space Marines. There's the aforementioned ribbon. So Chaos Space Marines, and then Xenos Invaders, so this will be Orcs, Tau, Imperial Guard, Orcs, Tau, Drakari, Dark Eldar, Aldari, Harlequins, Yannari. Why don't we just call them Eldar, which make it a lot easier. And okay, so we've got the Necrons, who are the big bads in the game at the moment, and then the Orcs. This is something that I want to bring this up because I don't know when the hell this happened. When did Tau get an apostrophe? If anybody knows when toe actually got an apostrophe, please mention in the comments down below, because I have no idea when toe got an apostrophe. I only found it out the other day when I was looking through Aeronautica Imperialis, because that's the faction that I'm going for. And I'm like, hang on, is that a spelling mistake? No, it's not. So, and there's the toe, and the Tyranids, and the Kingsteel Occults, and that's all of those. And the Necrons, lots of artwork of all the miniatures, all amazingly painted. And then we get to page 196, and we get to the rules. So the basic rules literally cover about 8 pages or 9 pages. It's not very long. If you take away, this is the basics. So you've got command phase, movement, sidekick, shooting, charge, fight, morale. But this obviously goes into more detail on each of the phases and how they go about. One thing that I was really, I don't know, I'm not surprised, because it's like the big selling point for Games Workshop is they've still got the same mechanic that's been around for 30 odd years, but slightly changed. And I don't know if that's a good thing. It is in one sense because people are used to it, but in another sense it's not, because it's stagnated, it's not evolved to take into account modern audiences as such. But, you know, that's just neither here nor there. Then we've got how to set up your detachments, battle report between these guys, terrain, missions, right? So we're past all the rules. Then we've got like missions that are actually in the book. How to build your crusades up, psychic abilities, and then at the back we've got the mission pack for the crusade with lots more missions, loads and loads and loads of missions. Designer's commentary by Robin Cudes, and then rules for Rarecraft, Rare Rules, which is takes into account rules that have been published in. These are the rules that have been published that people might find a little bit annoying and not get first time. This kind of clarifies them for you. And then, so like example here is explodes. Tyranid models, some of the Tyranid models have explode as a keyword. This explains it in a little bit more detail. And then you've got a rules term glossary, and then right at the back we've got some more artwork, which is like phenomenally good artwork. The last few pages are really, really nice. There we go. And that is our quick look through Warhammer 40,000 Indomitus. Once again, this is, it was available to pre-order. They've all sold out now, but you can still pre-order the rulebook from our friends at Sixes to Hit if you follow the links in the description below, and you can save yourself quite a lot of money as well by ordering it from Sixes. I'd like to thank the guys at Sixes for allowing us to do this video, and I want to thank my friend Kay. Thank you, Kay.
Thank you.
For helping me for helping me unbox this. No matter where you are in the world, stay safe and keep on rolling those dice. Until next time, thanks very much.